Most people walking around right now have no idea their liver is quietly drowning in fat, and the most alarming part is that the standard medical advice they receive, just lose some weight, watch what you eat, come back in 6 months, is almost completely useless for fixing the actual root problem. Dr. Lucas Whitfield here, and what I want to share with you today is a protocol based on real, peer-reviewed research that shows your liver, specifically the fat packed inside it, can begin clearing out in as little than 48 hours, and in 6 days, clinical studies have documented an average reduction of 31% liver fat measured with MRI. That is not a marketing claim, that is published science, and by the time we finish here, you will understand not only why this happens, but exactly how to make it happen for yourself. Let me start with something that surprises almost everyone. Fat in your liver did not get there because you ate too much fat. That logic feels intuitive, but it is biologically wrong, and it is one of the most damaging misconceptions that has been floating through mainstream nutrition advice for 4 decades. The real driver of fatty liver disease, specifically non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, which now affects roughly 1 in 4 adults globally, is a specific type of carbohydrate sugar called fructose. Fructose is metabolically unique in the human body because it cannot be used as fuel by your muscles, your brain, or virtually any other tissue. It can only be processed by a single organ, your liver. So when you drink a can of soda sweetened with high fructose corn syrup, or you pour your child a glass of orange juice thinking it's healthy, or you eat a bowl of so-called natural fruit-based yogurt, virtually all of that fructose is routed directly to your liver, and the liver has no choice but to deal with it. At moderate amounts, this is manageable, but modern diets have pushed fructose intake to levels that overwhelm the liver's processing capacity. And what happens next is your liver starts converting that fructose into fat, a process called de novo lipogenesis, and that fat gets stored right inside the liver cells themselves. Over time, this fat accumulation triggers inflammation, which causes cell damage, which leads to fibrosis, which is the early stage of scar tissue formation that can eventually progress to cirrhosis if left unaddressed. This is why Dr. Lucas Whitfield emphasizes that fatty liver is not a fat problem. It is a liver problem driven by the wrong type of carbohydrate, and treating it correctly requires understanding that distinction completely. Now, you might be wondering how you even know if your liver is struggling with this. You probably do not have access to an MRI machine at home, and most people with early to moderate fatty liver have no obvious pain or symptoms because the liver itself has no pain receptors. But there are 3 visual markers you can check right now. The first is central abdominal fat, specifically the kind that pushes your belly outward even when you are not overweight elsewhere. This is called visceral fat, and it is the physical overflow of fat that is spilled out of a liver that is already saturated. The second marker is a darkening of the skin on the back of your neck, your armpits, or your groin, often accompanied by a slightly velvety or thickened texture. This condition is called acanthosis nigricans, and it is a direct indicator of chronically elevated insulin levels. The third marker is skin tags, those small, soft skin growths that tend to appear in the same folds and creases. All 3 of these signs point to the same underlying condition, hyperinsulinemia, meaning your blood insulin is chronically elevated, and high insulin and fatty liver are inseparable partners. Here is the chain reaction that creates this. When you consistently consume high amounts of refined carbohydrates and fructose, your liver becomes progressively more resistant to insulin's signals. The pancreas compensates by producing more and more insulin, trying to force the message through. That flood of excess insulin then triggers your liver to store fat aggressively, which worsens the resistance, which drives the pancreas to produce even more insulin. A self-reinforcing loop that quietly destroys liver function over years, while most people remain completely unaware. This is also why Dr. Lucas Whitfield points out that people with fatty liver often do not die of liver failure. They die of cardiovascular events, heart attacks, and strokes. Because the same chronic inflammation and metabolic dysfunction that is damaging your liver cells is simultaneously inflaming your arterial walls, raising your triglycerides, disrupting your blood pressure regulation, and setting the stage for a cardiac event. Fixing your liver is not just about your liver. Now let's get into the science of how fast this can actually reverse, because this is where things get genuinely exciting. The study published in PNAS, the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, is one of the most compelling demonstrations of liver plasticity ever documented. Researchers recruited adults who had been confirmed by MRI to have fatty liver. They put them on a specific low-fructose, low-carbohydrate dietary protocol for exactly 6 days. 6 days. Then they measured the livers again with MRI. The average reduction in liver fat was 31%, not 3%, not 0.3%, 31% in under a week. That result is almost hard to believe until you understand the mechanism. When you remove fructose from the diet, the liver immediately stops receiving the substrate it was using to manufacture fat. The production line shuts down. And because the liver is metabolically extremely active, it is the body's central chemical factory, it begins mobilizing and burning through its existing fat stores very quickly once the constant new supply is cut off. A second study from researchers at UCSF took a different approach. They recruited 41 children who had been diagnosed with fatty liver. They kept the total calorie intake exactly the same, not a single calorie less. The only thing they changed was swapping out fructose-containing foods and drinks and replacing that same caloric load with starch, which is primarily glucose. 9 days later, the MRI results showed that liver fat had dropped by nearly 50% in those children. 50%. Same calories, same total food volume, just a different type of carbohydrate. This is the definitive proof that it is not about eating less. It is about eating differently, specifically by eliminating fructose. It also exposes the enormous harm being done by well-meaning parents giving their children daily fruit juice. Juice is concentrated fructose. Whether it is freshly squeezed orange juice or a carton of apple juice, the fiber has been removed, and what remains is a sugar load that hits the liver hard. Whole fruit is different because the fiber slows absorption and the fructose dose is much lower. But juice? It needs to go, for adults and children alike. A third piece of research that consistently surprises people involves coffee. A large-scale study following over 200,000 adults compared habitual coffee drinkers with non-coffee drinkers and found that regular coffee consumption was associated with a 46% lower risk of dying from chronic liver disease. The active compounds responsible appear to be polyphenols, plant-based bioactive molecules with potent anti-inflammatory properties. These polyphenols reduce hepatic inflammation, support the liver's detoxification pathways, and appear to have a protective effect against the progression of fibrosis. If you drink coffee, drink it without sugar, black or with a small amount of cream if needed, and consider choosing organic coffee because conventionally grown coffee is one of the most heavily pesticide-treated crops in the world, and you are drinking those residues if you choose non-organic. A fourth study from Penn State synthesized data from 14 separate clinical trials involving over 550 patients, all of whom had liver fat confirmed by MRI, and looked at the effect of regular walking on liver fat levels. The conclusion? Walking reduced liver fat by an average of 30%, without any significant change in body weight, without dieting, without calorie restriction. Just walking. The mechanism here is that aerobic activity directly increases insulin sensitivity in the liver and muscle tissue, which reduces the insulin flood coming from the pancreas, which in turn slows the fat storage signaling. Walking also activates fatty acid oxidation. Basically, your body begins burning the fat already stored in the liver as fuel during even moderate movement. 20 minutes a day is all the research supports here. You do not need a gym. You do not need to run. A 20-minute walk after a meal is sufficient, and there is actually specific evidence that walking after eating is particularly effective because it blunts the post-meal insulin spike. Now, let's put all of this into a precise protocol. Here is exactly what the 6-day approach looks like. Step 1 is carbohydrate reduction, specifically fructose elimination. Your daily carbohydrate intake should come down to below 20 grams total, and within that budget, every gram of fructose should be 0. That means eliminating all sugar in any form: white, brown, raw, honey, maple syrup, all fruit juice, all sweetened beverages, including sports drinks and flavored water, all processed foods with added sugars, all high fructose corn syrup products. Read every label. Fructose hides in foods most people consider healthy: salad dressings, yogurts, protein bars, flavored oatmeal, ketchup, barbecue sauce. Step 2 is adding choline through whole eggs. Choline is a nutrient found in extremely high concentrations in egg yolks, and it is one of the most researched compounds for directly facilitating the export of fat from liver cells. The mechanism is specific. Choline is required for the synthesis of VLDL particles, which are the transport vehicles the liver uses to ship fat out into circulation for use elsewhere in the body. Without adequate choline, fat gets stuck inside liver cells even when the liver is trying to release it. 3 whole eggs per day. Not egg whites, not egg substitutes, whole eggs with the yolk provide a meaningful choline dose that actively supports the fat clearance process. Dr. Lucas Whitfield recommends making these your first meal of the day, ideally delayed until midday to allow for an extended overnight fasting window, which brings us to a related point. Eating 2 meals per day with no snacking between them naturally extends the period during which insulin is low, and low insulin is the essential state in which the liver is able to mobilize and release its stored fat. Snacking, even on supposedly healthy foods, triggers an insulin response that interrupts this process. Every time you eat something, anything, insulin rises. And when insulin is elevated, fat burning stops. So the structure of 2 meals with nothing in between, ideally spaced 6 to 8 hours apart, maximizes the daily window during which your liver can actively clear its fat load. This is not extreme intermittent fasting. It is simply meal consolidation, and it is one of the highest leverage changes you can make for liver fat reduction. Step 3 is 1 cup of organic coffee daily, without sugar, as discussed. Step 4 is a 20-minute walk every single day. If you can do it after your meals, even better. These are the 4 active interventions, but there is also a tracking method Dr. Lucas Whitfield recommends that allows you to objectively measure your progress without needing any medical imaging. Take a flexible measuring tape and measure your waist circumference at the level of your navel. Write that number down. Measure again at 48 hours. You should see at least a ½ inch reduction. Measure again at 72 hours and then at the 6-day mark. By day 6, most people following this protocol see a minimum of 2 inches of reduction in waist measurement. This shrinkage is not general weight loss. It is specifically the reduction of visceral fat and the deflation of the liver itself as it clears its fat stores. It is one of the clearest real-world indicators that the protocol is working. Now let us talk about what is happening systemically as you do this, because the benefits extend well beyond the liver. When you eliminate refined carbohydrates and fructose, insulin levels begin to normalize within 24 to 48 hours. As insulin normalizes, the kidneys begin releasing retained sodium and water, which is why many people notice rapid reductions in puffiness and bloating in the first 2 days. Blood pressure often starts declining within the first week because the arterial inflammation driving hypertension in metabolically unhealthy individuals is driven by the same insulin and fructose overload that is damaging the liver. If you have been told you have borderline high blood pressure or are taking medication for it, be aware that it may begin to drop and you will want to monitor it. Triglyceride levels, which are essentially circulating fat in the bloodstream, drop dramatically and rapidly on a low fructose protocol because the liver stops manufacturing new fat and begins exporting and burning existing stocks. HDL cholesterol tends to rise. Energy levels typically improve noticeably by day 3 as the body transitions from relying on a constant glucose supply to becoming more efficient at running on fat and ketones. If you have been experiencing persistent fatigue, the kind that makes you want to nap after lunch or feel dragged out by mid-afternoon, that pattern often breaks significantly in the first week of this protocol. Sleep quality also improves for many people. The connection here is partly through blood sugar stabilization. When your blood sugar no longer peaks and crashes throughout the night, sleep becomes deeper and more restorative. For those with sleep apnea, there is evidence that reducing visceral fat around the neck and throat reduces the physical obstruction that drives apnea episodes, and early improvements can sometimes be noticed within a week or 2 of sustained compliance. Now I want to address something that comes up constantly, and that is the question of what you actually eat during these 6 days if you are removing carbohydrates and fructose. The answer is simpler and more satisfying than most people expect. Protein is unlimited. Beef, chicken, fish, seafood, eggs, lamb, pork, all of it is appropriate and beneficial. Animal protein is actually critical for liver recovery because the amino acids in meat, particularly glycine and methionine, are directly required for the liver's detoxification pathways and cellular repair processes. Non-starchy vegetables are encouraged. Leafy greens, broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, cucumbers, peppers, asparagus, celery. These provide fiber, micronutrients, and phytonutrients without meaningfully impacting insulin or fructose load. Healthy fats are not just permitted, they are encouraged. Avocados, olive oil, butter, fatty cuts of meat, full-fat dairy, nuts and seeds in moderate amounts. These foods are metabolically neutral or beneficial for the liver. The saturated fat in these foods does not drive fatty liver. Fructose does. This is one of the most important inversions in nutrition science, and it runs directly counter to decades of public health messaging, but the clinical evidence is unambiguous. Fat does not cause fatty liver. Fructose causes fatty liver. Foods to absolutely eliminate for these 6 days, and ideally much longer. All bread, pasta, rice, cereal, crackers, and grain products. All fruit juice and sweetened drinks. All processed snacks and packaged foods. All desserts, candy, and sweetened condiments. And critically, all so-called health foods that contain hidden sugars. Flavored yogurt, granola bars, smoothies, and protein shakes made with fruit or sweetened bases. If it has a barcode and a long ingredient list, it almost certainly contains fructose in some form. One more element worth addressing for those who want to maximize results. There is growing evidence that certain micronutrients specifically support liver fat clearance and can accelerate the protocol's effectiveness. Beyond choline from egg yolks, vitamin E has been studied extensively for non-alcoholic fatty liver disease and has shown meaningful reductions in liver inflammation markers. Milk thistle, specifically its active compound silymarin, has decades of traditional and clinical use supporting liver cell regeneration and protection against oxidative damage. Berberine, derived from several plant species, has been shown in studies to reduce liver fat and improve insulin sensitivity through activation of the AMPK metabolic pathway, which is essentially a cellular energy sensing switch that promotes fat burning. These are optional additions, not requirements, and the dietary interventions alone are powerful enough to produce the results described in the clinical studies. But for those who want to layer in nutritional support, these three, vitamin E, milk thistle, and berberine, are among the most evidence-backed options for liver-specific support. Let me close by giving you the complete picture of what this 6-day commitment means for your long-term health trajectory. Non-alcoholic fatty liver disease is currently the fastest-growing liver condition in the world. It is estimated to affect over 25% of the global adult population, yet the vast majority of those people have no idea they have it because symptoms are absent in the early and middle stages. The condition has historically been thought of as a slowly progressive disease, one that takes decades to move from simple fat accumulation to inflammation to fibrosis to cirrhosis. But the research is now showing that the reversal process can be initiated dramatically faster than the progression. 6 days of precise nutritional intervention can reduce liver fat by nearly a third. That is your body responding to a changed environment, doing exactly what it was designed to do when you give it the right signals. The liver is the most regenerative organ in the human body. It is the only internal organ that can regrow from as little as a quarter of its original mass. It has a profound capacity for recovery that most people never activate because they are never given the right information about what is actually damaging it and what actually heals it. Dr. Lucas Whitfield's message is this: you are not stuck with a fatty liver. You are not dependent on a pharmaceutical intervention or a complex medical procedure. You need 6 days, 4 specific actions, and the correct understanding of what your liver actually needs. Start today. Take that first waist measurement right now, write it down, and commit to the protocol. Within 48 hours, your body will begin showing you measurable evidence that this is working. And by day 6, the change in your midsection, your energy levels, your mental clarity, and your overall metabolic health will confirm what the science has been showing for years, that the human liver, given the right environment, is capable of extraordinary and rapid recovery.